Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Come on in. We got some things to get into. Y'all know how we do it on Wednesdays. Car Chronicles. Listen, y'all got to get me through this long ride into the office. We got some things to talk about. So come on in. We got some things to talk about. What we want to call today? Tariff Eve? The eve of the tariffs going into effect? I don't know. We gonna figure it out though. Come on in. Come on in. Like the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Engage. Y'all be having a problem engaging over here during these chats. Nobody don't be making a comment after it's posted, but everybody got something to say during the live. It get real active in these chats. Y'all don't be having no chill a lot of times when it comes to which I'll be saying. I'll be talking greasy. My mods gotta become superheroes and get you up out of here. Come on in. Like the video. Like the video. Don't be stingy with the likes today. Thank you for the one like, the first like of the day. Child, I have a gabillion people up in there and about 10 likes. Oh, come on in. We're going to get into some things because, listen, I'm in the USA. I don't know where y'all at. Let me know in the comments as you come on in. Where are you located in the world? Because, y'all, we finna make our way over to Africa. We finna be all over in South Africa business today. I don't really talk about the diaspora. Is that what they call it? The diaspora much. But we're going to talk about it today. Because Trump and Pitt, our president, my president, I don't know where you at, but I'm in the United States. I'm in the great state of Georgia. So my leader is President Donald J. Trump. I don't know who your leader is, but that's who my leader is. That's who my leader is. That's who got my vote. Listen, it is what it is. And he around here, listen, people, every time that man open his mouth, get to writing on Beyonce's internet, a message, he pissing somebody off. So today, we gonna talk about the people over in Africa even pissed off. Listen, Trump's an equal opportunist. He's like, you can get this work. You can get this work. Like he handed out like Oprah's favorite things at Christmas time. Y'all remember that? Oprah used to do her favorite things at Christmas time. Then everybody run out to go buy whatever that she damn gave out. Trump be giving it to the people like it's government cheese. The way he pissed people off. This man do not care. Real. Your president do not care. He do not care. And you know what? That's the thing that a lot of people like about him and respect about him is just he's definitely unapologetically himself. And he used to be known to me. I'm gonna let y'all know, like for me to change. Like I used to view him as like somebody who was just always just whatever he said, he was just 10 toes down on it. It is what it is. It is what it is. So I kind of was here for that. But now, child, he got the name Taco. Y'all know what the hell they call that man Taco. So that's kind of like the opposite now of what to me he used to be known as. I mean, at least like I said, to me. To me, it was just like, listen, if he said it, you can take it to the bank. Trump said it. He 10 toes down. It is what it is. But now, listen, he can say something on Tuesday, but B, you going to be pissed off if you think that that's finna stand by Friday. You're going to be in your feelings if you think that what Carolina told y'all that he said on Tuesday, that is going to apply by Friday. Hashtag taco. So with that being said, good morning. Good morning. Come on in, like the video. We got a lot to talk about. Y'all nervous about these tariffs? How y'all feeling about these tariffs? Let's just start there. We're going to take care of home first. We gonna make our way to the diaspora and talk about who he pissing off over there in Africa, in West Africa. But let's take care of home first. Y'all here for these tariffs? Are y'all like concerned? Are y'all concerned about your coffee prices going up, your salt, your wheat, like those the little things, your job? How about that? A job. Like, are you concerned? Because to me, when it comes to these tariffs for 2025, it's just been a matter of conversation, because when he'll put these deadlines out there, but they get extended. So I don't feel like we've really kind of had to feel the effects of the tariffs. It's just been a conversation piece. Like, it's been like a 6 month conversation. What them he got in the office, what, January? He started talking about the tariffs, what, maybe around what, March, April, May, June, July, August. So we're gonna say like 5 months, a good solid 5 months. Tariffs mainly have kind of been a conversation. It hasn't really been something to where I feel like we've really felt an impact from, other than like the people being afraid a few months back, and people, things were kind of backed up at the ports, all of that. But we really haven't really felt anything because he keeps extending it. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like, he keeps extending it. So you really haven't felt it. It's just been like conversation, like, listen, do this or else. It's a lot of or else. Do this or else. And I think because of that, there's a lot of nations, countries that aren't really taking him serious. Because I talked about how, to me, President Trump, when he got into the office January of this year, inauguration was January 20th. To me, he was stand on business Donald J. Trump. Donald Jaquavius Trump. Y'all like, what's the J? Jaquavius. Over here is Jaquavius. I don't know what it is over there on the other folks' channel, but over here is Jaquavius. So when Donald Jaquavius Trump got into office, it was just like, yo, he's on this. I said what I said, that Nene Leak meme. I said what I said. I think she said on Housewives or something. I don't know, child. But he was on that type of time. So since then, we've seen him kind of flip flop a lot. He moves around a lot. Y'all like the videos, you come on in. Thank you. Just kind of double tap the screen. Thank you for the support. So I feel like because he's done that, he's lost some credibility with some people, some leaders from some other countries and nations. For example, let's talk about Switzerland. Switzerland is another big country to where Trump's like, yo, if you do not do this, I'm going to do that. So apparently Switzerland is facing up to like 35% tariffs. And much of these tariffs, you all, are supposed to take effect tomorrow, Thursday, August 7th. What's today? The 6th. So tomorrow, August 7th, most of these tariffs are supposed to take place. I believe Switzerland would be impacted by that date as well, because there are some that are going to take place Friday, but most of them, I believe, are going to be tomorrow. It's like 70 plus like countries. So they're like, Trump's like, listen, Switzerland, you said, because y'all know, remember some months back, Trump would like talk about, in Carol B. Lyon Levitt, I'll call her Carol B. Lyon Levitt, Carol B. Lyon Levitt. They were like, listen, Trump making deals behind the scenes. Don't worry. We got this. We bringing in this amount of money from tariffs. We got enough. I talked about maybe like a week or so ago on my channel about him possibly, where he was entertaining the idea of, listen, he was talking about it. Whether or not he gonna be about it, I don't know. I'm just tell y'all what these folks be saying. It's up to you what you want to do with it. But he was calling them, I think, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a stimulus check. So Trump was throwing out the idea of like a relief check, giving a stimulus check for like, I think it was It was either 12 or $1,400 to American citizens, I guess taxpayers, because he was like, we're bringing in so much money from the tariffs. He was like, yo, like, because I remember when Elon was in office working at Doge, and he talked about that. Y'all remember when they first started talking about all the money they were saving after doing these audits and seeing how the Democrats was spending the money all recklessly. So they were like, Elon came out talking about, hell, we may be able to, there might be some checks being able to be cut. I never heard Trump talk about it then, but I remember like Elon throwing it out there. So fast forward to present times, like maybe like a week or two ago, you can look it up. Trump talked about giving out checks, like a stimulus check, and it would be because of the savings. Or let me not just, I don't want to call it savings, because of the tariffs, the money that's been made from the tariffs, um, he's like, yo, we got so much money coming in that's being made from tariffs. Y'all, this is what this man said. Now, the statistician already got fired. So I can only tell y'all what the hell he said. Y'all know he done fired the statistician when she done changed them numbers. When she said, no, it ain't that, it's really this. So I'm just letting y'all know. He said the U.S. is getting to the money. And we getting to the money because of the tariffs. So, with that being said, you can get a check. You can get a check. You can get a check. He was on that type of time. This was maybe like 2 weeks ago. Whether or not he gonna do it, I don't know. But it sounded nice. It sounded nice. So, that's what he talked about because of all the money coming in from the tariffs. I think he was saying like we're slated to make about, I think, 300 billion by the end of the year as a result of tariffs. Right now we're at around 100 billion. Y'all, these numbers that they talking about. So whether or not they true or not, I don't know. But on this particular day, when I was listening to news reporters talk about it, I think it was on the Fox News network that day. So Trump said we get into it because of the tariffs. Now back to Switzerland. Trump's like, yo, Switzerland, remember that day we was talking and you said that you would invest $600 billion in the USA. I'm going to need to collect on that because I ain't seeing nothing. And today is the 7th. Today's August 6th. Tomorrow, everything on effect. Today, August 6th, 2025, and we ain't seeing no motion. We not seeing no motion, Switzerland. I said, well, I sure want to know what was in that write-up for 600 billion with a B as in Beyonce, $600 billion. And so, and y'all remember he would do these press conferences earlier this year, back like in the spring, and talk about different countries he was having conversations with and the deals. And sometimes we'd see the people. I seen a couple of times a couple of Asians up there on the side of them smiling ear to ear, because they was saving from not having to pay the 25% tariffs. They was real happy. So I remember during that time just hearing conversations centered around, or me even thinking like, okay, like people can tell you all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially to get you off their back. Thank you for the super chat, Texaria. God bless everyone. God bless you and everyone else that's tuned in who will hear this message. God bless you, because it's hard out here for a pimp. Y'all, it's real hard out here. It's real hard out here. So, as I was saying, Trump was talking about these conversations, and y'all, it's 147 of y'all in here. Can 140 of y'all hit the like button? Listen, he was talking about having these conversations with different countries and things, brokering these deals like, yo, my phone ringing off the hook. Y'all remember that? Who had Off the Hook? Escape. Y'all remember the Off the Hook album, Escape? He was on some Escape, Off the Hook. If you know, you know. Y'all, Google after this. Go Google, get on YouTube and type in Escape Off the Hook. Just say Chic sent you. So he was on like, yo, my phone is ringing. Everybody's wanting to make these deals. Yo, we getting to the money. Like, Trump was on some, I ain't even got it, but y'all know when they put the money to their ear, the money calling Trump, Donald John, Jacquavius Trump was on like the money, like he was on some type of money calling me type. So fast forward to today, he's like, yo, Switzerland, you said, remember you told me that y'all was going to do a $600 billion deal with the US. Now, I don't know what that consists of. It may be out there on the internet. I just didn't go deep dive into that part because I just wanted to just high level, just put it out there that the tariffs, the deadline is here. I don't know which deadline we on. Y'all know we didn't had about 25 of them. So one of these deadlines is here again. And he's like, yo, Switzerland, you know what? You playing with me. You playing on my top. So since you want to play these games, you want to play these games, I'm gonna hit you with a 35% tariff increase. Now they like Switzerland, like, oh ish, we ain't never seen nothing like this. Hold on, Kimo Sabe, hold on. Let me see something. Let me get back to you. And Donald J. And Jacquavius, let me get back to you on it. I know, listen. What you said, we said again. Y'all know how people try to play you. Now, what you said, we said. Who said that? Because I ain't even talked to you. Keith, who told you that? Keith? Because Keith be saying stuff. Who told you that? So now Switzerland trying to figure out, like, cause they know he crazy. So they like, Lord, he finna have us all on the soup line. We ain't even got Section 8 over here in EBT, but we gonna need to have something. We gonna need to get into the line of the U.S. resources for Section 8 EBT because Trump is coming for us. He coming for us. So Switzerland like, all right, they're playing. Dang. So they're having to evaluate their whole life because remember, there was a communication allegedly that Trump is saying where they promised to invest $600 billion in the US. And Trump, like, where's that? I ain't seen nothing. I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to see something because he's the one that's looking crazy right now because remember, he was saying these different countries were lining up to make deals with us. But are they really? Have they really? Like, the truth. Listen, the truth don't come to the light. How many of y'all was raised on list? What's done in the dark will come to the light. What's done in the dark will come to the light. So now deadlines are here. The first one is tomorrow. So we're coming off of 90-day extensions. I think these are 3-month extensions that we're coming off of. So most of these countries, the deadline is tomorrow, like 70 plus. Then we got a few that's going to be Friday. Who we got Friday? Friday, we got Brazil. Brazil got them an extra business day thrown in the mix. Brazil, like, listen, we need another day. We need another 24 hours. We need another 24 hours, Trump. So they got until Friday, August 8th. China, y'all know that's been a big one. Listen, China, you got two nuts that, with the Chinese leader, and then you got Trump. So y'all know that's just been real different. Their deadline is August 12th. That is what they are saying was that next Tuesday. So that's supposed to be the date where whatever type of agreement, deals, or whatever that was supposed to have been brokered, like that's supposed to be um, coming into play. Whether or not it goes down like that, who knows? Because y'all know how it go in this current administration. I done told y'all what's said on Tuesday does not necessarily stand on Friday. So whatever you heard this man say about any agreements or whatever with the U.S. and China 30 days ago, that don't mean that come August 12th, that's going to be the real deal Holyfield. That's what I'm saying. Listen, that's the message of the day. The message of the day is you got to go by action. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's how I live my life. Don't talk about it, be about it. I don't talk about a lot of movement that I do. You just see it. I just show up. And I talk about it after the fact. We can talk about what you just seen or witnessed, but I don't really talk about things before like that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, y'all might have noticed. Y'all ever noticed them ones that be doing all that jaw jack lip service, ain't got no results, just be talking. But the ones who ain't really saying nothing, they sitting in the cut, they just peeping game. They got all the motion. You like, damn, that's the one you wasn't even checking for. But you over here, cause loudmouth over here talking about, hell, they got what they get to, and they a hold and lie. So you gotta go off of people's actions, not what they say. And Trump has put himself in a tough spot because he's been saying one thing and doing something different for much of so far his term so far. And it's only been what we had 7 months now. Like, so it hasn't been a super long time, but it's enough for us to see that he consistently backpedals, which is how he earned the name Taco. Some of you may wonder, what is that? He likes tacos? What is that? He eats it with salsa, sour cream, guacamole? No, taco it's an acronym for Trump always chickens out. So the people, the internet, which I call undefeated, they came up with this name probably about 90 days ago when he started extending, because Trump gonna come out and say it with his chest every time, not some of the time, every time. That man gonna come out and say it on his with his chest, like he always stand on business. He don't back, like he says it like that every time. Like, one thing you're not gonna do is hear Trump say something and he not sound confident about it. Like, y'all ever notice that? He's gonna sound like you don't catch Trump talking and be like, he didn't sound too confident about you. No, he gonna say it. Now, whether or not he gonna move the way he just said he gonna move, that's something different. That's that taco acronym. But he gonna come out and say it with his chest. So because of that, I think that it has a lot of people, not only the American people here like myself and maybe some of you, question things. I think it has a lot of people in other nations question things as well. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. And just think about it, just with your own regular lives. You go off of action. Think about, like, we've all had people in our lives that say things, but they don't stand on it. And it becomes a problem. You like, and like, you don't think about relationships you've had where the people, they fall through, they don't come through. They're not reliable. Like, regular lie, like, just be lying. Like, think about it. Nobody likes to deal with somebody like that. They lose credibility. They lose that. Trust is built on you just you've been able to stick to your word. Your word is your bond. That's where the root of trust come in. When it comes, even your children, if they effing up, like, yo, I mean, I can't trust you. You got to earn this trust back. Partners, listen, you've been lying. You've been out here slanging it. You've been twerking it out, backing it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. Like, so you're paying attention to people's actions. And if the actions isn't lining up to the lip service, action speaks louder than words, whether it's good or bad. Action's going to speak louder than words. So what do you want? Be cognizant of your actions is what I'm saying. So right now, Switzerland, they done told that man, apparently from what he's saying, that they would invest $600 billion. Did they ever intend on doing it? Maybe, maybe not, because they probably like, oh, he gonna change it. They're like, he move around a lot. So he move around a lot. We gonna move around a lot. We gonna match that same energy. So I think that's what's happening, and people not taking him serious. They're laughing. They're definitely laughing at our country. We're. Can y'all imagine? Some of y'all in this. Let me know if any of y'all in here from another country. I ain't gonna see it right now, but drop your location if you're from another country, because it's people all over the globe that tune in. What are your views right now of the United States of America? How are you viewing our country? I'm just curious, because I know as an American how I'm viewing it. Even those of you who are Americans like myself, how are you viewing the United States of America today? How are you viewing it? How do you feel about our country and how we're moving? just everything, all aspects. Our government, we'll start there. Our economy, our job market, our education system, our crime levels. How do you feel about the US? Because sometimes I get in conversations about the US versus like other countries and living somewhere else. And I be in it sometimes, y'all, I be on the side by myself where I'm like, no, like US, this is the best place to be. Like there's no other am I by myself? Am I by myself that's feeling like this is the place to be, that there's no other place that's going to do us better? Because when I think about living in different places, I think about the pros and the cons wherever you go. And I live by, well, I live in US, but at least I know my challenges. You ever think like that, where it's just like, okay, I live in China, I know my challenges over here, I don't know what my challenges would be in Russia, so let me stay here. You see, it's kind of like maybe that mindset. And then so many people want to get to the US more so than any other country or nation. So I'm like, this got to be the place to be. You got folks risking it all, literally their life, trying to sneak into the USA. Or they'll be told, hey, I need for you to self-deport or else, and they still don't, only to have them folks ICE roll up on them and send them to CCOT. Like, and so I was talking to my mom, and she was talking to a coworker from somewhere. I think the person's family, they are from their aunts, they're from like somewhere in Africa. And so my mom was like, yo, like, is it that bad over there to where you would rather risk it all with trying to come over here illegally, and then they even say, hey, we're giving you the opportunity to self-deport or else, and you still stick around and deal with them folks trying to raise you up on out of here? And I think that stemmed from, y'all seen a couple of weeks ago, it was a black guy. I don't know, because most of the time when I hear, when it's black people and they rolling up on, they be like Haitian or something. So I don't know if that was where he came from. But child, that man was kicking and screaming. He was kicking and screaming like a child, like you want your child to do if somebody, a stranger, roll up on them at the playground. How you done told the kid to fall all out, do the absolute most. You know how your child will do you in Walmart? You like, I'm gonna need for you to do that stranger like that when he roll up on you. How you be cutting food, got folks looking at me crazy. I'm gonna need for you to do all that when something popping off. Okay? So the man was doing all of that. He was literally on his stop, drop, and roll as them folks was trying to gather him up out of that place. I don't know if they was at the courthouse, because they be rolling up on people at the courthouse coming out of them hearings. So my mom was talking to a lady like, yo, like, is it that bad that y'all willing to like risk it all just to be over here versus there? And that woman looked at her and said, yes, ma'am. It sure is. It is. It is. It's worth all that, whatever we got to go through over here to try to get here, to stay here. It's worth it. So that's why I say, like, how many of you put in the comments, are you happy with where you live? Do you desire to pick up and relocate somewhere else? If so, where? Where? Where would you go? Wherever you are, like country wise, like if you were to pick up and leave from your country, where would you go? Do you feel like where you live is just better than whatever? Are you somebody like me that's like, yo, I know what my country is giving, so because I know what my country is giving, I know what my challenges are, I know what I'm up against, I would rather deal with what I got going on than to go and deal with whatever they got going on. That's how my mind is. So right now, I can't think of any other country that I would say, hey, I would leave the US for and go live in, even with everything kind of the way that it's going down here. And there's a lot of people just talking about moving around and wanting to move and live in other countries because of what's going on here in the US. And I also think that as we talk about moving around and living in other countries, it makes a difference on what your money looking like. Y'all know no matter what country you live in, whether it's the United States, Brazil, Africa, money is going to make a difference. Money is going to make a difference. And I'm going to say the average person, money isn't long enough like that to just uproot and go to another country and live their best life. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. People as a collective aren't getting to it like that. It's more people than not that are not getting to it like that. So as a lot of people talk about, oh, I'm gonna move to Africa, I'm gonna live this way, I'm gonna live that way. It sounds nice. It sounds nice. But what I do know is that your money, your financial situation is going to make a difference on how your experience will be over there. Even your experiences just with interaction with people. Because what I'm hearing is that using Africa, for example, and going anywhere over there, if you have money, there's a different type of treatment that you receive. There's a different type of treatment you're going to receive versus somebody who don't have money and you coming over there and trying to find you a job. So even though it may be cheaper to live over there, we can't ignore all else that comes along when you're choosing to go uproot and live someplace else. You still got to factor in the politics. You got to factor in the people. Are they welcoming of you? Are they welcoming of you? How many of y'all have seen this whole back and forth thing? I haven't talked about it, but I know it's heavy in the media with the Africans versus the FBA, Foundational Black Americans. So for those of you who are confused, like, those are two black groups. You're like, well, what's the deal? They're both black. Right. Right. But let me explain it to you. The difference is with where the divide is coming from is that the black people who are immigrants, who are descendants from Africa, they have a lot of views about things that may differ from the foundational FBA people like myself. That stands for Foundational Black American. So if you ever hear FBA, Foundational Black American, so that means that we don't link our lineage necessarily going back to Africa. Like, we're like, yo, our roots, we're here. This is our land. We're native. We're Native Americans. We are the Native Americans. Everybody didn't come from Africa. So that's where that thought process comes from. So with that being said, there's this argument on, okay, who's better than the other? So FBA people, Foundational Black American, what they hear, what they feel is that Africans, Caribbeans, black people from other countries feel like they're better than us. They look down on us. And I'll tell you the first time I ever heard that. I have a good friend, a childhood friend I grew up with. The family, we're close to the family. So I'm from California. Fun fact about your girl, I'm from the Bay Area. I'm from California. I live in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. I moved here in 1996. My mother had a job transfer. We got in the car and we drove 3 days, child. I'm still not right from that damn long drive. So we drove. So the first, friends that we made when we made it to Georgia, we moved into this nice community, this nice apartment complex. Our neighbors were Nigerian. They were Nigerian. Husband, wife, 3 children. Father an accountant, mother at home wife, 3 kids. 1 son, 2 daughters. The nuclear family. So daughter falls in love with a black American young man who was a classmate of ours. Yeah, sure did. Daddy didn't like that, so she had to hide him. Because this is when I first learned the thought process of some, I'm not going to say all, some Africans looking down on black Americans. And what I heard was that they felt Daddy said Black Americans are lazy. How many of you have heard that before? Black Americans are lazy. So because she fell in love with a young man, mind you, they're teenagers. They're like 16 years old. This is her first ever. They're in love. He did not accept her boyfriend. So she was forbidden from seeing him, which means that she would sneak and see him. Y'all know how it go. When your mom and your daddy say no, y'all know that don't mean no to you. You be like, I got to be resourceful because I'm about to go see something. I'm going to be resourceful. I'm about to be resourceful. So she would, of course, see him at school and she would see him at my home. Now, her mother, who's also Nigerian, she was fine with the young man, but she knew that her husband, daddy, did not like him. So my friend was not allowed to see him. So she would see him at school, and then she sometimes see him at our home. Y'all, one time, how about one time mama came over. I don't know if we was expecting her to come or not, but the boyfriend was at my house. Child, why we had to hide him? I don't know if we wasn't expecting mama to come up in the house when she came to pick up my friend, but she did. You know, folks be, and then child, you know, Africans be talking. So she came in, got comfortable. He all in the laundry room hiding because they remember she wasn't, my friend wasn't allowed to see this black American young man who was a young man that anybody will want their child to date. But he wasn't African. Daddy felt like black American men, black people, they were lazy. So we hid him in the closet in the laundry room until mama left. And friends still continued to sneak and see him until it just became so problematic in their house to where it just became this big conflict centered around her dating this black American guy. Mind you, daddy never even got a chance to get to know this young man. My mom did. We loved him. Do you know today? So this story I'm telling you, this is what, 20 plus years. I graduated, it's 99, so that was 99, 2000. They are married. Two beautiful girls. Daddy loves him. Oh, daddy loved his son-in-law. He loved that man who loved his daughter. He loved that black American man. He loved that FBA man. But this is what I'm talking about. So it is a real thing that people will have a preconceived notion over someone before even really knowing anything about them. So this fight with the FBA and the Africans, this is like what it's rooted in. People learning or hearing thoughts and ideologies and beliefs about people that they don't know, but this is just what they were told back before they even came over here to even see for themselves. They was already fed this idea of how you are, how things go here or whatever. And it's up to me, you, and any of you to be responsible for finding out for yourself, not taking the word of somebody else, because you can miss out on a lot of great things, a lot of blessings, a lot of wonderful relationships by going off of, well, Lisa said he wasn't, not, he was, no, you got to see for yourself. So daddy seeing that, my friend's father seeing that she wasn't backing away from him. She was literally willing to risk it all, as we talk about, risk it all for this man because she knew he was great. Her daddy just didn't know. Her mom didn't think bad of him, but again, she's the wife. She got to respect her husband. She got to respect, he's the head of the household, so I get it. But she'd met the young man. She didn't feel a way about him, but daddy didn't. And daughter kept continuing to see him. But here's the thing. Once she graduated high school, daddy couldn't have no say. So boyfriend at the time they still continue to date, even while she's at UGA, he's at West Georgia. They still continue to date. They both still went to college in Georgia. Continue to date. Today, they were just at my house, 4th of July holiday with their family. They were over. Still together. He was a classmate of mine. He was actually in my grade. My friend was in the grade lower with my sisters. Wonderful man. He still is. So imagine if She didn't make a life with him. You know what I'm saying? So this is where that's rooted. And I'm a person to where I don't believe that everybody thinks the same. I don't put everybody in one bucket. So just because that's an example of how one African thought, and I've come to learn he ain't just a solo dolo. We not finna do that. What we not finna do is act like Mr. Williams was the only one thinking that way. We're not gonna do that. But what I am wise enough to know is that everybody don't think the same. I do know that. Life has taught me that. And what I see when it comes to this battle between the Africans versus FBA is people not really taking that into account. That you got people who gonna say crazy things or think a certain way, but it's not all people. It's not all people. So that's where I'm at with that. And I think that, if we really think about it from that standpoint and judge people based off of our experience with them versus as a whole, and that's on both sides, the world would be a better place. Come on through, Michael Jackson. The world would be a better place. The world would be a better place. But it's effed up right now because everybody want to lump everybody in the same category. All the Africans think this way. All the black FBA people think this way. And that's the furthest from the truth. That's the furthest from the truth. The truth is we are all unique. We're individual. Some of us are cray cray. Some of us are not so much. But at the end of the day, we got to judge people based off of their character and nothing more. You judge them based off of your experience. Your experience. So with that being said, Traore said, Trump, I'm an equal opportunist over here too, and you about to get this work. Traore is the lead is the leader over there of what's that? Burkina Faso. How do you pronounce it? Burkina Faso. So it's a country over in West Africa. Child, why Trump didn't hurt them folks that struck gold over there? Don't ask me how the hell he found out. I think they been. I think they were seeing, how they got these satellites and stuff, and you can see what's popping off in places. They seen a lot of movement over there. They like, what they doing over there? But anyway, child, and listen, they done seen movement. They like, what's going on over there? Why rush over there? What's going on over there, child? Burkina Faso then struck gold and oil. Trump then sent them a damn letter talking about, listen, I'm gonna need some of that. You know what? I need 60% of that. Trump then told that man, listen, we need 60% control over the oil and gold over there in 24 hours. Y'all stay tuned because I'm gonna let you know what Traore had to say to that, because y'all know, listen, that man, he over in Africa, but he looked like me. So y'all can only imagine what he had to say. Because this energy I got is universal. It's not just isolated in the USA. It's that melanated energy. So Trump like, listen, I'm gonna need for you to run that to us 60%, 24 hours. How you finna tell somebody in their country what they need to do? That stuff I be talking about. That stuff I be talking about. He told that man, it's like, sir, you don't know about that man. That man ain't true. That man ain't new to this. He true to this. He about that life. Traore about that life. Y'all know who he is. Type in, it's TRAORE apostrophe. That man about that life. He don't play them games. He don't play them games. He don't play like that. So Trump thought that he can get that man that demand, like that white man thought that he can slap that black man at that Cincinnati brawl, and y'all see how he was stretched out, laid out next to that white woman with his ankles crossed. It's the audacity for me sometimes with some groups of people. But again, like I said, everybody don't move the same. A lot of people be moving on stupid. So Trump then told this black man over in Africa, listen, I'm gonna need 60% of what you got going on over there. Traore responded by telling him, basically, in other words, hell no, you ain't getting ish. Follow it. Burkina Faso is not for sale. Where have y'all heard those words? How many countries got to tell Trump that they ain't for sale? Because we didn't heard Canada say it. What was that other country that also had to tell him? Was that Iceland? Was it Iceland? One of them countries, they also had to say, we're not for sale. Troy, like, I don't know. I mean, listen, I don't know how you used to talking to Biden, Clinton, Schumer, Slickback Newsom. I don't know how y'all used to talking. What kind of energy they accept from you? I don't know. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That ain't my business. That's y'all business. But let me tell you how we roll over here. What you not gonna do is come and tell me what I'm gonna do in my own house. And that's on that. So that's the energy Traore responded to Trump with. Rightfully so. Like, y'all think about it. That's like somebody rolling up on Trump trying to tell him what he gonna do when it comes to the USA. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like sometimes people move in a way to where I can do it, but you can't. Y'all ever see them people? Your parent might raise you with, do what I say, not what I, do what I say, not as I do. Where your mama and daddy saying one thing, but you see them moving a different way, or just people in general, and you like, what? You just said this, but I'm seeing you doing that over there. So to me, Trump gives like, yo, if I say it, then I'm gonna need for you to take that to the bank, and it is what it is. I need for you to respect that this is my domain. I'm the leader of this. I run the USA. I need for you to respect that. Put some respect on my name. That's the energy that Trump comes with. He should. He's the leader of the United States. But also, every other leader should and is entitled to have that same type of energy, right? A leader is a leader. Respect my position as I respect yours. When have we ever heard Traore having a USA name in his mouth unless it got something to do with somebody trying to roll up on him and try to flex? I done told y'all in my live yesterday, the people that look like me, we ain't got a problem staying in our lane and minding our business. That's universal. Whether it's in Cincinnati giving out 2-piece and a biscuit specials, because that's what you're seeing on the weekend of the Jazz Festival. We call that the 2-piece and a biscuit. But they was getting served some desserts and a side of Dr. Pepper and fruit punch. They was getting a drink too. They was getting served out there in Cincinnati. But what I say, the more the story is like, yo, like, you can't go into people's space. You can't just invade and just think you can just walk up and roll up on people and just try to check them. Because that's what people be doing. Like, yo, like, I told y'all, if y'all find my channel, and if you don't look like me, you're going to learn a lot about the people that look like me. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to help you out. Don't be rolling up on us trying to flex and tell us what to do, how to do it, when to do it. Don't do that. Stop it. Because we ain't doing that to you. We don't be seeing no news reports talking about people that look like me rolling up on people that look like you, trying to tell you what to move, how to move. We don't do that. Why? Because we understand that that ain't the way it's supposed to be. You a man, just like he a man. I'm a woman, like you a woman, and that's on that. I don't care, white woman, that you're a white woman. You're a woman just like me. White man, you should not care that that's a black man. He is a man just like you. So Traore, that is a man just like Trump. He is a black man and a leader, as Trump is. They're both leaders. They just have two different skin tones. They're from two different ethnic groups. Show respect. Show respect. How you finna tell somebody I'm gonna need your stuff and you got 24 hours? Like he on some doggone New Jack City. Trump be acting like he Nino Brown, y'all. If y'all don't know who Nino Brown is, again, y'all gonna have some assignments over here. Get on Beyonce's internet, type in New Jack City, Nino Brown. That's what Trump be acting. He be giving Nino Brown. So Traore like, oh, okay. Traore like, I'm about to be on some iced tea type stuff. So Trump trying to be Nino Brown. Traore gonna be iced tea. Y'all get into the movie. Get into the movie. Welcome. Like the video. We gotta listen. Y'all gonna have some homework. Y'all gonna have some homework. New Jack City. That is Wesley Snipes' character. Trump is giving that type of energy. Traore like, F you, you ain't getting nothing. So also in response to Trump trying to G check him, Traore nationalized all natural resources, expelled foreign corporations, and declared to the world Burkina Faso is not for sale. So basically, Traore changed their practices over there by enforcing that the government now has control over natural resources versus any other foreign controlled entities. So because he made this change, Trump can't do nothing because he didn't change it. Like, you know what? Don't even, no, we got this. Our government got this. Sit down. You got enough going on over there in your parts in the USA because everybody watching how it's in shambles. So you need to worry about them Epstein files and giving them people what they want while you worried about what we got going on over here. That is basically the energy that Traore has, because he like, you worried about the wrong things, player. You got enough going on over there. You got Ghislaine Maxwell playing with the dogs at the new federal prison camp in Texas with the women who done light rape crimes. Meanwhile, she done got tried and convicted of ex trafficking, but she can be over there with the people who just stole a few dollars. She can be over there at the prison with the people who stole a few dollars and who got a few years, less than 10 years. She doing a whole 20-year bid, but she done got transferred. Also, I didn't mention to y'all yesterday on my live. I forgot. Y'all remember she was supposed to be going to speak with, I think, Congress or somebody on like August 11th, I think. Child, they said that has been postponed indefinitely. Y'all think that woman's still finna go talk to them people? Mind you, she just talked to Trump folks about a couple of weeks ago. A week after that is when she said she was going to go talk to them people. So fully so. Okay, can y'all hear me now? My alarm was going off. Can y'all hear me now? Yes. All right. Thank y'all. My alarm was going out. So, Ghislaine was in Tallahassee, Florida, at like a maximum security type prison for people who commit violent crimes, which she did from ex trafficking. So now she's been moved to, is it Bryan, Texas? They call it Club Fed. They call it Club Fed because you get all this. From what I hear, I think Martha. I don't know if Martha Stewart was at that one, but Martha Stewart. Y'all know, remember when Martha Stewart had to sit down and do some time? She was in like a federal prison, kind of like that, to where it's just like, you locked up, but it ain't given like your normal prison would. You away, but child, like, it ain't nothing deep like a lot of the other prisons. Um, so that's now where Ghislaine Maxwell is. That's where she at. And the Trump administration, as of yesterday, when I reported on yesterday morning, I had not heard that they made a statement yet as to why she was moved over there. But I did see headlines talking about that there was some funny business, some illegal things that took place that had her to be able to be moved over to there. I saw that as a headline, but I couldn't get into it. It was right before I left the house to go live, so I couldn't see what exactly it entailed. But it was just on Google. But one of the news outlet was alleging that there was some laws and things broken uh, to have her to be moved. And again, this was something that what it's giving that she negotiated when she spoke with the DOJ. So what Pam Bondi, and then I think one of Trump's attorneys or somebody went to talk with her, and she did drop names and things like that. So she gave them something. But of course, she's going to be looking for something in return, right? And a lot of people at that time, when we knew that she sat down with them, that we were thinking that she the return would be her getting pardoned. I don't think anybody thought about her getting moved. I don't think anybody thought about her being that. I didn't hear that in the conversation. It was more so centered around if she would get pardoned. So that has not happened as of yet. That's still being talked about. People are wondering if Trump will pardon her on his way out. But as of right now, she has been moved to a minimum security federal prison camp that they call Club Fed, because child, they got arts and crafts, they got gym, they got dogs, animals that you can play with, you can train. I think they got the library, like they got things that where she came from they didn't have, or in some of the things that she didn't have access to. So now she's in an environment to where she can basically kick her heels up for the duration of her time while she's in there, however long that's going to be. So I find it quite strange that the appointment that she had to speak with other government officials outside of the Trump regime, now that meeting, it has been postponed indefinitely. It's like it's not even, there's no date. It's just gone. The date's going to come and go, because I think the meeting date is supposed to be August 11th. So would that be Monday? So it's just going to be a date that's going to come and go. The Trump administration haven't come out and said anything that I've heard of as of yet. You all can put it in the comments if you heard them make a statement as to why she was moved, how they justified it. Oh, let me go back. The justification that I did hear as to why she was moved was because they felt like it was a risk to her, to the other, a risk to her at the other facility, now that it was known that she was having conversations with people, with the government, with DOJ. So they were like, yeah, that's what was put out there. But I don't think I don't think Trump has made a statement yet, but that was like what was put out there in the background. But I don't think like the White House has like put that statement out. So apparently her life, fearful. I guess they didn't want her Jeffrey Epstein, well, they say Jeffrey did it to himself. They was talking about, thoughts about somebody else doing something to Ghislaine. So that's why they said we needed to move her. But okay, well, why not move her to another maximum security, like an equivalent type prison? You know what I'm saying? So we all know what that's about. We all know what that's about. People right now also are demanding for the transcripts, the release. Let me know. Are any of you here for the transcripts from that meeting Ghislaine Maxwell had with the DOJ a couple of weeks back? Because yesterday I was hearing that people are like, yo, we want to see the transcripts. Because they're like, Trump, you and your administration have talked about transparency. Y'all know Carol B. Lyon, she be up there talking about Carol B. Lyon Levitt, always talking about transparency. This president is transparent, unlike the previous. Y'all know they stay comparing him to Biden. So that's why she was saying how, they were working on trying to get the transcripts. Remember the judge in Florida denied them their request for the court, the transcripts and stuff like that. But they was like, yeah, we're trying to be transparent, but they were only trying to do that because all hell broke loose when Trump and his team said there was nothing to see. So then after that, that was suddenly, oh, we're trying to be transparent. No, You're trying to get that heat off of you because people got smoke for you. You're just trying to get that heat off of you. So they got a hard no from the judge in Florida a couple of weeks ago. But since then, the DOJ had went and met with Ghislaine Maxwell. So people are like, all right, then y'all talking about transparency. Hey, we got 97 likes. Can we get to at least 100 likes? Y'all talking about transparency. Can we at least see the transcripts from the meeting? How about that? I ain't holding my breath that we'll see those transcripts. I'm not holding my breath that we will, but the people are asking for them. So again, I say all that to say, Traore, like Trump, you got enough on your plate to deal with. We got this over here. If the U.S. is the richest of all the land, why do we need to be trying to dip and dab into the resources and the things that another nation or country has? Like, why we got to be doing that? We got our own. Like, it's giving greed. It's giving greed. Trump wants people to pay, have all these tariffs and stuff in play. So therefore, we can, make money, do whatever. But why can't these other countries do whatever it is that they do? So therefore, they can make money for their homeland. You see what I'm saying? I'm an equal opportunist over here. Like, we got tariffs, they got gold and oil. Everybody getting to it. Tariffs, gold and oil. Listen, Trump, you saying our claim to fame is tariffs. Okay, well, our claim of fame is gold and oil. Traore ain't talking about Trump. I didn't heard y'all done made 100 billion on tariffs. I'm gonna need to hold some. I'm gonna need for you to send some over here. I'm gonna need for you. You didn't talked about. You didn't flex talking about how much money the U.S. is getting to from tariffs. I'm gonna need for you to cash at me or Zelle me some of that. They ain't saying that, or nor any other country or nation is saying that. But why is Trump putting this demand? Because this is what's being put out there by the diaspora, by the diaspora. So y'all research it. This is not coming from the Trump administration, what I'm reporting to you all. This is not coming from their news, the American news outlet. I move around. I listen to various news outlets because I understand that what we do over here and how we move, it impacts the world, the global. We are the leader. So I listen to different news outlets. So this information that I'm sharing to you came from a diaspora news outlet, a news outlet that reports on news related to that Africa. So you can find it. I didn't make note of the exact channel where I got this from. I didn't write it down, but you can Google it or go onto YouTube and type Traore. That's spelled Traore. Tells Trump no to gold and oil. Just type that in, and you'll get the information. It's going to come up. He told him no. He told him no. But this Trump does this. It was another a country recently I learned as well, like last week. Grenada. Grenada is another country. Trump wanted some of their resources as well, and they told him no. Look into that. Grenada. Not sure how they spell their name. Granada. Not sure how Grenada spells their name, but look up Grenada. Trump wanted some of their resources. They gave him a hard no, and he told them, listen, you're going to regret it. And I believe, if I can recall, the way he dealt with them was preventing them from getting flights in and out of the U.S. I believe that was how he dealt with them. Kind of like what's going on right now, I think, with Mexico. There's something going on with Mexico centered around flights going in and out of like Mexico or something like that. But that is how he's dealt with them. And I think when it went to Traore, one of the threats also was going to be like sanctions. Like Trump was throwing out these threats to Traore if he didn't come up off of the gold and oil. And Traore was like, all right, then that's cool. We good over here. We good over here. So I don't know. It's just giving bully. That's what I'm just saying. It's giving bully. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. I don't like it. He's the leader of my country, but I don't like it. He's my president. I respect his position as being that, but I don't like it. I don't always like how he moves. I talk about that over here. And I voted for the man. I talk about that. I voted for him. I voted for him, but I don't like how he's been moving since he's been in office. Mostly, I don't like it. I will say that. I don't. Now, even if the alternative wasn't better, so I'm not going to say I wish I would have voted the other way. I ain't going that far. I'm not going that far. I'm just saying he got my vote and I'm not happy with everything he's doing, which is fine. We're not always happy with people, with everything they do, how they move. There are some things I am happy with like immigration, how he's kind of navigating through that, trying to get it under control. I'm good with that. As long as it's done, fair, you know. But this other stuff with him trying to G check. Thank you for the super chat. Is that Michaela? Thank you. The way he's trying to G check these other leaders, countries, I don't like that, y'all. I don't like that. It's just giving bully. And who likes a bully? Who likes a bully? Nobody likes a bully. It's giving bully. And his bullying, it, he's making doggone Biden look like the best thing since sliced bread. I'm just going to put it out there. I think probably now more so than any other time, you probably got people wondering, I wonder what Biden doing. What Biden doing today? So it's on that note, because it's just like sometimes things can get so bad to where something that was bad don't seem as bad anymore. Y'all know what I'm saying? Y'all ever see like a really bad person, but then them next to somebody else who's also bad, they don't even look as bad, to where now the stuff that they did, you like, you know what? I know Obama was on some other stuff and he wasn't really for us, but he wasn't that bad, he wasn't pissing us off like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm finding myself doing that. Like the stuff, Obama and this Russia stuff, where like a year ago, 2 years ago, like he need to be under heated. It's like the energy is kind of different, because like now as we compare, what he did versus what's popping off now, it's just like, eh, it's all right. It's not as bad as what's going on now, I think that's what's happening right now. It's like when we compare it, when we're it's like, it's just all bad. The fact that just to even do that, it's just bad. Like worst of the worst. Who's the worst of the worst? That's like where we're at. Like a worst of the worst type situation. And it's just bad. Like, damn, can we get somebody good, somebody solid? Why it gotta be the worst of the worst? Like, which one is the worst? Which one told the biggest lie? Which one cost us the most money? Michaela said Michael here. You're Michael. You say you love the New Jack City reference. Ain't this giving Nino Brown? All day, Nino Brown. Y'all need to get into it. Look up. That's the assignment of the day, y'all. Y'all the honor students. I affectionately call my subscribers honor students. We are lifetime learners. And there's many lessons that can be taken away, from these lives. I always say you will come here and leave knowing more than you did when you left. And that's a promise. And it's just about asking questions, you all. Asking all them questions. We got to ask questions. We got to elevate ourselves. We can't just be good with sitting in the unknown. We got to move around. We got to go see something. That's why I move around and listen and tune in to different news outlets. Fox, MSNBC, CNN, the African diaspora news, Now News, like all these young Turks, like underground news outlets. I call underground news outlets like the smaller ones that we just can't ramble off their names, because You really learn a lot when you do that. And then what's most important, you all, do not sleep on the comments on these videos, because the comments are going to be from people who are what I call boots on the ground, who are not new to this, true to this. They're living out these things, much of the things that's being talked about. They're in the comments talking about their experience, saying, yes, this is what I'm seeing. This is happening. Or they're saying, no, you just reported on this. I live here. It's not happening. That's not happening. You know what I'm saying? So get into the comments, because I like to do the temperature check to see how are people really feeling. How are people really feeling about what's going on? And back to Switzerland, when I was listening to the news report about Switzerland, I was in the comments on that video, and people who were, it was some people in there who were saying, hey, I'm from Switzerland. They basically was just like, yo, we ain't stunting you, Trump. Like, we come with it. Don't start none, won't be none. So they're not afraid. They're like, listen, you need to go on and worry about whatever that. Don't be coming over here trying to control nothing. Like, that's how the locals at a lot of these places, like in these countries, like this is how they feel. They're not afraid of Trump anymore. Like, Trump no longer, people don't fear him. People don't fear Trump. And here's the thing about it. I say the word fear. That's the word that I choose to use. And it's mainly rooted in consistency. It's like, your children. I'll go back to the analogy of your children. A lot of times your children will listen to you and do what you say because it's rooted in fear of consequences. So I use the word fear, but it's more so like they know there's consequences. There's consequences here. And if I don't move as such, if I don't follow directions, I'm going to be dealt with. There'll be this consequence. So that's why I say fear, because it's something that you're fearful of happening. I'm fearful of that happening. And so with these other countries, they're no longer fearful of something else happening if they don't comply with whatever it is that Trump wants them to, because he constantly changes his mind. And he has that right. We all have that right. But here's the thing. When you become known to change your mind a lot, you start to lose credibility. That's any of us. You start to lose credibility. We're all entitled to change our mind. But people will then start to view you as someone who's not consistent. You lack consistency. You don't stand on business. Your word is not your bond. So that's how the world is starting to view Trump. They're like, he just talking. So he don't have the respect. Respect is earned, not given. He don't have respect. You know who do have respect? Traore. His country respects him because he stands on business, and they know when he said it, he said it. He said it with his chest. He meant it. He stands on business, and that's what a true leader does. Your people should have faith in you that you're going to lead. You're not going to fold. And when you stand up and hold your chest out and you 10 toes down, guess who's going to do that? Your people. They're going to follow you, and they're going to have that same energy. They're going to be like, you heard what the man said. We ain't doing that with Trump because we know it's Tuesday. By Friday, he finna say something else. You like, he ain't finna have me looking crazy like Carol B. Lyon Levy. Caroline and took the cross off. Y'all know that woman used to faithfully wear her little cross. When the last time y'all seen Carol B. Lyon Levy wear that cross? That woman I ain't seen that woman wear that cross since she got up there and talked about them Epstein files. That's the last time I seen that woman. She didn't even have it on that day. I think that was the day she didn't have it on, when she talked about the Epstein files. Michael thinks that Trump taking over the Carter apartments. Lord Jesus, it's just too much. That woman don't wear that cross. Good morning, just say when. That woman don't wear that cross. She like, listen, I'm already up here lying. I ain't going. Listen, she already probably I don't know if she feel like she's going to hell or not, but it's given that she feels like if I'm gonna be up here telling all these bald faced lies, I need to not be doing that with the Jesus piece on. I need to not be doing it with the Jesus piece on. So when she leave that position, the Jesus piece just may come out. It just may surface again. But until then, that woman like, listen, I understand the assignment, but I'm gonna have to do some things differently up here. I understand the assignment and what you're asking of me, but I'm gonna have to do some things differently. So I'm gonna start by taking off this Jesus piece. That's the cross, the Jesus piece. So she removed the Jesus piece weeks back, and we have not seen it. 444. That's the number of people watching. Like the video, like, share, and subscribe. So the world is just watching, y'all. Like, everybody's watching us. Like I say, we a whole Netflix and chill type special. We the Hunger Games over here. We the Hunger Games. We Squid Games. All them games that survival of the fittest. That's what we are over here. That is what we are over here. So when I say it's hard out here for a pimp, I mean that from my soul. Don't argue with me, argue with your mama. I mean all of that. I stand on that. It's hard out here for a pimp. Trump even know that. Traore even know that. Everybody else, that's universal. That is universal. Pimping is not easy. It's hard. It's hard. But you got to know when it's time to move around and to do something different. And Trump right now, it's not looking good. I was listening to, and I didn't make note. It was last night. It was a guy who had a business. He has like a manufacturing business, and he talked about how the financial struggle, as a result of these tariffs. He says, as a result of the tariffs, say for example, these are the numbers he threw out. If he made $1 million, he may have paid 25,000 in tariffs. So that's what he said. 25,000 to 1 million. It's not a lot. That's kind of like few. That's like almost like equivalent of $25, right? To $1 million. You like, bet. All right, then I'll slide you 25,000 in exchange for all the other monies. Well, he says right now with the tariffs, if he makes, or when he makes $1 million, he pays $700,000 in tariffs. Child, that man 7, 8, 19, he done made $300,000 profit. $300,000 profit. I was like, I know you effing lying. That man was looking the press up there doing that interview. That man was looking real crazy up there as he was talking. He said before he can make $1 million, pay $25,000 in tariffs. Today, he make $1 million. He pays $700,000 in tariffs. So the reporter was like, "Oh my God, are you gonna be able to afford to keep your doors open to employ people?" And he was just like, "Well, other people in my industry who also do whatever it is that he does, it's kind of like warehouse type work." He was like, "They're leaving out of business." He's like, "They're getting out of business. So because they're leaving the business, their clients are coming to us." So he was like, "Because of that, I can't really exit the industry because everybody else have jumped ship. So because they're still getting business, there's an increase in business, even though the tariff situation is there, they're still getting business. So because of that, he's not having to get rid of people, but the tariffs is eating into his profits like nobody's business." Crazy, yo, right? But meanwhile, Trump then said that lady, what's her name? That's statistician. Let me see what her name is. What's that lady name? Is I write her name down? Erica, Erica, Trump said Erica lying. Trump said, y'all be saying I be up here lying. Y'all be calling Caroline be lying, Caroline be lying, Levitt. He was like, no, who really lying is Erica McIntarfer. That's the statistician for the Bureau of Labor Statistics. She was placed in office by the Biden administration. He said she the one the whole lie. She lying to y'all. So I was listening to this guy. So he under Trump. I don't know who he is. And the reporter was like, well, how y'all know Erica numbers? She was lying or whatever. He was like, because you can just tell, just look at them. She was like, well, do y'all have any proof? Y'all look, True Social. I'm talking about your Trump, President Trump, Donald J. Trump. Truth Social post just popped up. That's Donald's social media platform. I follow him there. So he be doing posts. So sometimes I'll come out here and talk about some things he posted, and y'all be like, what you talking about? But you got to be on Truth Social. So anyway, the lady is interviewing this man who's over, representing, the Trump and them, and I don't know what his title was. And he talking about, yeah, them numbers, that lady, she lied or whatever. The reporter like, well, how you know? You got any proof? Well, no, I mean, just look at the numbers. You can just see child, they ain't came with no receipts or nothing. I told you, Trump and his team, they be on some, because we said it. I learned that when it came to when they was sending people to CCOT and arresting illegal immigrants. And they didn't have no court, no nothing. They didn't show no receipts on what Carlos had done to somebody. They ain't show nothing. They just said, listen, Carlos out here doing the most, so we had to put him on that Spirit flight over to El Salvador, that one-way Spirit flight to El Salvador. Well, can you show us? No, I mean, just trust that we seen what we needed to see, and we needed to raise them on out of here. This is what this current administration has been giving. They're not really a receipt-based administration, if you haven't noticed. So that lady asked that man, well, how you know Erica was lying? Like, what you basing that off of? That man said, I mean, just look at the numbers. Just because of the numbers, the way they look, you can just see that they got to be lies. So Trump out here calling everybody else liars. Meanwhile, we seeing the vast majority of what this administration is currently giving is giving lies. I'm just saying, and y'all, I voted for the man. I voted for Donald Jacobavius Trump. I did. I did. But I'm going to call it like it. I'm going to call it spade a spade. Like, you can't make this ish up. Like the late Kevin Samuels would say, you cannot make this ish up. Like, sir, you need to not call nobody a liar or nothing. Ever, ever, ever again. Like, sir. So he said the numbers ain't right. But here's the thing, you all. Based off of what we've been seeing with the job market, people losing their jobs, tariffs, does it make sense to you that these numbers are what this woman Erica is saying they are? I'm just saying. I'm phoning a friend. Does it make sense that the numbers, the revised numbers, because I don't even know what happened, y'all. I haven't even deep dived into that. Y'all can probably talk about in the chat how the numbers got effed up to begin with. Y'all don't know the background, because they saying right now is now going to take away from the credibility of the the administration when it comes to putting out the statistical data because of this mishap. I'm not quite sure. I haven't deep dived into it to see how a mistake like this was made, how it was caught, whatever. But it wasn't like a small mistake, y'all. It was huge. Like, it was like a big difference. So Trump like, oh hell no, you got to go, you got to go. So I'm like, well, how did the original numbers get posted the first time? Where did those numbers come from? And then the new numbers, the revised numbers, the revisions, like, where did that come from? How did we get there? Did somebody do an audit? Like, I'm on my Deborah Cox. How did we get here? Like, I'm trying to understand how we got here, because this is crazy. Y'all, I told y'all this is a whole Netflix and chill type situation going on in these U.S. American streets. Ain't nobody got it on and popping like the U.S. Americans. One thing you cannot say about this country is that it is boring. There is never a dull moment over here. That man said, Erica, you a whole lie. You fired. I'm about to get me somebody else up in here who ain't finna be lying about these numbers, because these numbers need to match what I'm saying out here. And what I'm saying out here is that we got jobs. Because we done got the illegal immigrants up out of here, we got more jobs. So that's why uh the unemployment numbers should be going down, not up like the way y'all got them going up. That is a lie. So right now he's waiting. I don't know if he got to get there. He's waiting. I think he's got somebody in mind that he wants to take over that position. So people are concerned about him choosing, handpicking the person who replaces Erica. She is the statistician, the person who was fired, who was originally who put those numbers out centered around the jobs, employment. Y'all know them numbers. Which it was what numbers were off. So we're I think was it May and June? Some numbers, y'all, they was off by a lot. Not like a couple of, oh, they was a lot, like way off. Like, okay, where y'all get them numbers from? Like, it was way off. We got questions. Like, everybody had questions. So Trump fired her because them numbers wasn't lining up to what he had been saying. And now he's got somebody else, I think a male, a guy that he wants in that position. So it just comes down to whether or not that person will be placed into that position and how people are going to feel about the person he chooses to go in that position. Will people find them to be credible? Because really think about it, you all. If the first person who had the job, Erica, was in the position and her numbers didn't align with his talking points, now, so she gets fired. Mind you, she's the statistician person. So you're thinking like, well, this the person she know the numbers. She know the numbers. So it would make sense that she would know, right? So people would go off of more of what she says right before what he says, because that's her job. Like, really think about it. Whose job is it to deep dive and to look at the numbers and do that? That would be the person in her position, right? Not the president. So who are you more apt to listen to as they put data out centered around the job market? Are you more apt to listen to the politician, or are you more apt to listen to the statistician whose job is to drill down into the numbers? I'm just saying, y'all, we honor students over here. We be learning. What they say, we listen and we don't judge. Y'all, we do all that over here. We listening and we judging. So now he's gonna get somebody in there who they're gonna be like, all right then, Trump, okay, it's time for us to put these numbers out. I got my numbers. I need to see if they align with what your numbers are, what your talking points is. So can you go ahead and send them over to me? All right then. All right then, John, they're on their way. John get the email. He looking at the numbers. He like, damn, I got my work cut out for me because his numbers don't look nothing like mine. All right then. I still need my check. All right then. Now what he said the numbers need to be for August. All right. All right, damn. All right then. All right then. I'm just gonna save mines over here. And then we go, okay, Trump said the numbers are unemployment at 2.5. We at 2. All right. But damn, my numbers say 4.8. F it. Hell, I need my check. 2.5 it is. Y'all, unemployment down to 2.5. That man like, listen, the way that Section 8 and EBT line looking at the the social services office, I ain't trying to go and stand up in that line. I'm gonna need my check. That Section 8 waiting list, as long as I'm gonna need my check. So listen, if he's saying these numbers need to look like this, here these numbers gonna look like. This is what these numbers gonna look like. So that's why people are like, it's saying that people may not trust the credibility going forward when it comes to these numbers that are going to be put out. If with them changing and say, I guess if they are going with this person that Donald Trump is proposing. I just know it's a male's name. I don't know his name. So I think that person should be placed into the position, or whoever Erica's replacement is, soon. I would imagine probably this month they'll probably fill her position because somebody gonna need to report August numbers. So we gonna need somebody to report August numbers. So y'all take these numbers with a grain of salt. Don't be out here going to try to twerk it out and going to the strip club, spending your dollars, trying to spend your money, picking up the tab for everybody because the numbers said that we Gucci. Don't be going off of them numbers. You do better going off of your spirit. Is your inner spirit telling you that this economy is Gucci? Is your your inner spirit telling you that all the issues effed up? You go off of your spirit because that ain't gonna lie to you. Read the room. I call it read the room, y'all. A lot of it ain't that deep. Read the room. Who do you know that's maybe lost their jobs? What companies are you hearing out there in the media that's reporting massive like layoffs? Who is that? I think UPS. Child, UPS trying to force, is it about 40,000, 20 to 40,000 people to take early retirement packages. And I believe they need to hit this number by the end of the month. And child, ain't nobody raised their hand because apparently they trying to pay how much they trying to pay. I think it's around $1,400 per month. I mean $1,400. I think it comes out to maybe about $1,400 for every year you've been with the company. Something that equates to, let's just say, somebody who worked for UPS, been there for like 20 years. The most that they can probably walk away with is a check for like $36,000. I think that was what the math is. And it breaks down to about $1,400 for every year. So if you're offered the package, they're like, yo, John, you've been here 10 years. We'll pay you $1,400 for every year you've been here. Y'all do the math on that. Is that a deal? Because I done told y'all, all them people looked at him like Traore looked at Trump when he said, I'm going to need for you to run me that golden oil in 24 hours. Y'all know, y'all ever get with that Gen, what are these new kids? They're Gen Z. What's that group, the new group? The group that's aged 19 or 29, they give you this blank stare. Y'all got kids out there that, like I do, you ask them a question and they just looking at you, confused. This is how they just give you that. They call it is that the Gen Z stare? Am I saying it right? Y'all know about is it the Gen Z stare? Where the kids, the people at the job say you ask them a question and they looking at you like the lights on, but ain't nobody home up there. I got 3 of them at home. I know the look. I know the look. So that's the look allegedly them people at UPS, the employers at UPS gave the CEO or whoever presented this option to them. That's the look they gave them. They gave them the Gen Z stare when they said, hey, we'll pay you $1,400 for every year you've been here if you go ahead and accept this package. Yeah. So going off of that, when these August numbers hit, when the September numbers hit, and Trump telling y'all the economy is Gucci, everybody got a job, but then Erica's numbers talking about, yeah, we might need to start trying to work on moving in with family members and friends. Who are you more inclined to believe? Erica or Trump? I'm just saying, because I done told y'all what's popping off at UPS. Go on, do your own research. Anything I say, go on, do your homework. Your homework is to go fact check anything she says. They need to cut. They need to let go of people. And they need to do it, from my understanding, this month. They need to do it this month. So the moral of the story is UPS gotta reduce their headcount. The numbers that I threw out to you, I'm going off of memory for the story, so don't hold me to that. But it's going to be in the ballpark of what I'm telling you. It's going to be in the ballpark. And y'all, this is popping off before these doggone tariffs are going to be taking effect. You know what I'm saying? So imagine what the impact of the economy is going to be. Imagine the impact of the economy after the tariffs take effect. If what I've been talking to y'all about is pre, this is before. This is before. Starting tomorrow, the first the first tariff extension expires tomorrow, Thursday, and that will impact 70 plus countries. Then Friday will be another deadline. I know Brazil, their deadline is Friday. And China's deadline is Tuesday, August 12th. So all these deadlines are like here. And people are bracing for the impact. They said the average American, like here this year from tariffs, just in 2025, can expect to spend at least about an extra $2,400 just from just increase on goods, because you all know, we've been seeing this, like most of us are probably now educated on tariffs and how it works. I learned about tariffs through this administration. I've learned so much from this administration, which is why I do content on politics, because it's so much going on, and I just feel like a lot of these changes, they're impacting me and many Americans. Not so became more aware, intentional about staying on top of things, wanting to know what's going on. And with these tariffs, it's going to impact everyone's. Nobody's exempt from it. Prices from all tariffs could cost the average American family $2,400 in 2025. Ford, y'all know the automaker, Ford reported an expected $2 billion cost from tariffs, largely on imported parts. So everything's just anticipated to go up. And this is just based off of just what's in place, because remember, Trump talked about making deals with a lot of countries, and some of them he may have, but most countries it's given that he hasn't made deals with, because if he did, it wouldn't be 70 plus countries who are about to be hit with the debt, who about to, their deadline's about to expire. So it's giving that most of these countries are not trying to play by Trump's rules. Other popular brands like Hershey's and Procter & Gamble predict higher costs of goods. And as a result of this all is going to result, if there's nothing, no agreements made, it'll result in job losses, slower hiring, which we've already seen. Like, it's tough. It's tough. Canada, Canada is a country that still nothing's kind of in stone with Canada. They've been talking. They may receive a decrease with tariffs. They've been having conversations, but that's a country that, we still kind of got to know what the final details are pertaining to whatever deals they've come to or will come to. India. So India still like on their FU type deal when energy when it comes to Trump, because I think India was already at maybe like 100% tariff. So they stand to increase to 125% increase, or 125% total tariffs. Russia. So tomorrow, Thursday, we should be learning more about, okay, what's to come, whether or not extensions will be given. I don't know. I'm so used to Trump doing extensions. My thought is always, oh, he'll just continue to add extensions. I don't know, because this is what he's done. Like, there's no tariffs like really that we've seen like that have stuck. We constantly get extensions. That's what we've been getting for like at least the past 5 months. It's just extensions on the things he say. And when people don't woosah. So tomorrow, listen out for talks about the tariff deadlines, extensions. um, so Switzerland, as the impact that we may have, or we may see, or we may feel as a result of this situation with the tariff increase on Switzerland, because they can stand to receive a 35% increase. So this could be tariffs on the semiconductors and pharmaceutical imports, chocolate, watches, and high-end skincare. So those are things that you can expect to see impacted as a result of these tariffs. And that's just going off of like, if there's not, if these people aren't meeting Trump's demands, because that's just kind of what they are, their demands. Thank you all. Have y'all hit the like button? Can we get to 200 likes? Thank you. Got 177 likes. Good morning, everyone. Let me try to get through some of these comments before my phone died. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all feeling? I mean, are you concerned about the tariffs? Are you like, it's fine. It's fine. That's what I'm used to my 15-year-old daughter. Anytime I say something, it'll be fine, Do you have that energy of it's fine, we're good? Because listen to Trump and his administration, they're like, oh, we're fine. There's nothing. So I'm all about thinking positive, but at the same time, I'm a realist as well. So you got to have balance. You got to live in reality, and when you accept reality, then that's going to then the next step will be to when you understand the reality of a situation, you then can start to formulate your next steps as to how to navigate through the situation. But it starts with you accepting what the situation is. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You're like, damn, like, okay, job losses is at this. A lot of people losing their jobs. Okay, bet. Let me start doing this. I'm going to just start, maybe not eating out as much. Let me start saving. You see what I'm saying? You're just like putting things into place as a result of just what the reality of a situation is. Even if you may not end up feeling it, you're aware that, hey, this is what's taking place. So because this is what's taking place, I'm going to need to just be cognizant of that. I need to not be in denial that that can hit my home, hit my children's home. So I have to think about these things as I'm sitting at these tables, maybe making deals or contemplating leaving this job, putting in a notice, changing industries. I call it read the room. You study the market, you look, is that the market to go in based off of what's going on there? It's kind of like what stock market, you study it. It's studying everything. It's just life. You study it. You study it. But you got to be realistic and accept the reality of a situation. That's going to be the first step. Don't they teach you that in AA? I ain't never been to AA, but I know. Look, listen. For those of you who are new to my channel, hi, I'm Chic. Welcome. Good morning. My background is clinical mental health counseling. I do have a whole master's degree in clinical mental health counseling, which means that I can work as a therapist, psychologist, all of that on the Ayana Big Show Life type tip. But no, I do not practice as such. I do content on the internet, amongst other things. But so sometimes, when I talk, I'll throw in things centered around just mental health because, child, like, as long as we have breath in our lungs, we're leaving the house, like everything that we're experiencing, the things we're seeing, it's going to have some type of impact on us. It's going to impact our psyche. And when this breaks down and goes awry, then the rest of the body starts to get impacted. So we got to keep this strong. And we're going to start by being realistic about a situation. So therefore, we can start putting things into place that can help us navigate through whatever that situation is. You see what I'm saying? Because you first got to acknowledge it. Like if you're an alcoholic, you got to acknowledge that you're an alcoholic. You got to acknowledge it first. Once you do that, then we can all right, now let's talk about how we can overcome this struggle. You see? And that's where we are right now. We got to acknowledge things. And I think that our leader, President Trump, he struggles with that. He struggles with acknowledging things. And that's a problem. That's what the young folks today call Delulu. Delulu. That is the problem. Um, but nonetheless, we're students. We're students of life. We're honor students over here on my channel, but we're students of life. We're lifetime learners. You never stop learning. You do not have to learn in a classroom. I repeat, you do not have to learn in a classroom, which meaning that you do not have to go to school and get all these degrees and accumulate all this debt that as of May 5th, 2025, those of us who did, you have to pay it back. You do not have to do that to educate yourself. There's many of ways you can educate yourself. But it's going to start with you having the desire to want to educate yourself, to want to know more than what you know. Much of what I talk about on this channel, because I have two channels, so this is like political content. This has nothing to do with my education that like college education, nothing to do with that at all. It's heavy in common sense. It's heavy in common sense, but this is me just moving around, listening to people as they talk, listening to different content creators, news outlets, looking in the comments, just been a student of life, seeking out information. This is how this channel grew. It's based off of that, y'all. This channel didn't grow from college degrees that I have. This channel grew from me becoming aware, me wanting to know more than I knew before, because I have a better understanding of how all these things are impacting my life, my children's life, my loved ones' life, your lives. So as I'm learning information and gaining an understanding, I feel compelled to come out here and to share it with you, because if I didn't know it, maybe somebody else don't know it. So my thought is, well, let me go on my platform and share the information, because a lot of times, you have these outlets and they're bought and paid for, Fox, CNN, like, so they're paid to deliver this message, this narrative. So people don't really listen to them, or they take it with a grain of salt. Or the way the information is being delivered, it's going over a lot of people's heads where they don't really understand it. So what I do, because sometimes things will go over my head too, but I'll keep going and find different places where I can go that's going to break it down more to help me understand, so I can come out here and explain it to you. I do that a lot. I'm like, what does this mean? All right, let me go to the internet. Let me go to the internet and type in this so I can have an understanding of what it is that I just heard someone say, what it is that I just read, so I can come and explain it. Because my goal over here, as I give you all this information, I want you to understand. I don't want you to walk away confused. I don't want you to walk away confused. I want you to understand. That's why I say I may use references to songs, to movies, to shows, because I know that's something that many of us can relate to when you can connect the dots. And it's like, damn, is that bad? Damn, I didn't know it was like that. It's on some Nino Brown, New Jack City. You know what I'm saying? So I like to use that, these reference points, because I want people to understand. So therefore, okay, this is our situation. Bet. She said we got to understand what's going on so we can damn put some checks and balances in place. And so I'm trying to help you to understand what's going on. So you then know, all right, then bet. You said it's going down like that. All right, then he on that type of time, say less. So that is really what my mission, my goal is on this channel. And I say all the time, I promise you I'm going to deliver the news in a way that you ain't never heard nobody else deliver it. But it's going to be truthful information. It's no made up. I may be off with maybe some of the numbers or the details, but nonetheless, the story is legit. You can go check it out yourself. And I always say, go fact check, go do your own research. Always do that, because it's also going to help you gain a better understanding. So you may have reflected back on something I said, and then as you're reading, you be like, oh, snap. It's even worse than I thought. She didn't even say all that part, because I do a lot of high level, like when I'm driving, I can only give you so much because I'm driving. But I don't always do content when I'm driving. If you follow me, you'll see this just Tuesdays, Wednesdays when I'm driving into my office, because I ain't trying to be in here no other days. But any other time I'm stationed, so I'm likely maybe in my office, or sometimes I'll do a walk and talk. But child, I be having my notes, my laptop, and I can show you some things and we can get into it together. But I come to bring the news. It's the news. So anything I talk about, go out there. I want you to go out there. Traore, the leader of I want you guys to get into him, Burkina Faso. So it's a country in West Africa. Burkina, spelled Burkina. Faso, Faso. Burkina Faso. I had never even heard of that country until I learned of the guy, the leader, Traore. I learned about him just this year, since Trump has been in office. I had never heard of him. He looks pretty young. He looks like he's maybe around 40, maybe even less than that, younger than that. But he's popular over there. He's doing big things with their country, and they're winning. They're winning, as they should. But that's what it's about. You have to have a leader, a good leader, in order to win, right? Because a nation is only as strong as their leader. A nation is only as strong as their leader. And Burkina Faso has a strong leader. And he's on this nuck if you buck type energy. Nuck, 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 nuck if you buck. Like, he's on that type of energy. So Trump gonna need to sit down. Leave that black man alone. Because I done told y'all on the live yesterday, we real different. People that look like me, we move different. Y'all done seen the 2-piece and a biscuit specials handed out for the free in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Birmingham, Alabama. I don't know how many more examples y'all need. Don't start none, won't be none. We don't start it, but god dang it, we gonna finish it. We gonna finish it. So Trump need to sit down like Bubba had to sit down when he got the 2-piece biscuit in Cincinnati, Ohio, on the weekend of the Jazz Festival. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Check out my live yesterday, child. I got into all the detail, talked about Karen I looking like this. She laid out in the streets while the Royal Rumble. Y'all remember that from the WWF and the Royal Rumble? Y'all with the big fight, everybody coming out fighting. That's what it was looking. That's what the Cincinnati, Ohio was giving during the Jazz Festival weekend. It was all of that. It was all of that. But what I'm saying is, folks, mind your business. Stay out of people's face. Stay out of people's business. And it'll all be Gucci. Like, moral of the story, y'all, life, it ain't that deep. Life ain't that hard. People be making life hard. Thank you, Dr. J, for sharing my Cash App. Cash App, $ speak 50. Thank you for any support. We got 200 likes. I thank you all. 422 of you still in the building. Thank you all. so much. I appreciate any support. Just watching the content. Y'all, it's the little things for me. I even have membership. You want to be a political honor student, be a member. Your name will show up in color. Prioritize your comments just like I do with the super chats. Thank you. Special thanks for those of you who sent the super chats. I think I was able to see the comments. It wasn't nothing too deep that I couldn't read while I was traveling. And I thank you, thank you, thank you. But y'all, each one teach one. That's what it's about. I'm a lifetime learner. As I learn, I want to share, I want to teach. Yesterday, someone I recently met learned about my background and my education and counseling. And her question was, why are you here? Why aren't you doing that for work? I no longer have the desire to serve in a capacity of sitting in an office and just listening to someone air out their grievances. That's just not what I want to do in my life. I feel like every day I wake up, I'm helping someone in some type of way. I'm motivating someone. I'm giving information to someone. So I call it free game. I give y'all free game. I like to just do that. That's my way of serving. It's my gift. Years ago, I prayed, God, can you reveal my gift to me? And he revealed my gift was to counsel. And that has evolved to teaching and to teaching. So that is my gift. I know my gift. If you don't know your gift, ask and you shall receive. Simple as that. It really is. And so I do it every day, and I have two channels. Both of them, this one's my larger channel, but both of them, thousands of followers. I guess we're nearing 10,000 between the two channels. Both channels monetized. Thank you so much. But I just appreciate you all just showing up, watching the content. You guys are very, very active in my chats, which I love and appreciate. But definitely, be a part of the replay gang. If you ever miss any of my content, leave a comment on the video. I like comments. I will respond. Don't be shy. But I like to keep the conversation going because you all show up in droves regularly and got a lot to say. Y'all be working my mods to death. I have awesome mods, but listen, we welcome everyone, regardless of your beliefs. It's just about being respectful. If you can't tell, I'm very balanced. I'm very balanced. So yes, you'll hear me say stuff talking about Donald Jaquavius Trump, and at the same time, you hear me say, "Child, I voted for that man." But I also will follow up with reasons why I voted for him, things that I do, rock with him on. So with people, you're not gonna always be here for everything that they do, even your loved ones. But you want to be there for most of the stuff they do, right? And so with Trump, it's just, it's been a little different, this year with him, a different in a not so good way, I will say, for me. And it's still technically still early in his presidency term. And things could shift, it's still early. My husband's a big supporter of Donald Trump, so he's still holding on, he's still team MAGA. He's still holding on, and we're married. So that's how you know how balanced I am, because I come out here and y'all done heard me for the past, over an hour, talk about Donald Jaquavius Trump, giving him this work. But my husband's a big MAGA fan. He's a big, not fan, a supporter. He's a MAGA supporter. Q and all of that. All of that. All of that. So, people support who they support. You're entitled. You're entitled to support who you support. I voted for Donald Trump because I was in support of um, illegal immigration and him getting that under control, because child was out, it was just too much. That's why that's where my vote primarily came from. I like to stance on that, and then I like to stance on boys playing in boys sports with boys and girls playing in girl sports with girls. Um, so the illegal immigration. I feel like everyone's welcome to be here, but you got to do it the right way. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's not what you do, is how you do it. How you do it. And it's always that with me. It's just the how, not really so much what you do, but how are you doing it? How are you doing it? So if you align with any of that, definitely follow me. Even if you don't, you can still follow me. Engage in the conversations. Engage in a conversation. It be on and pop in these chats, so you'll have plenty of people to talk to as you listen to me talk my talk, because a lot of times there's so many comments I can't get through all of them. um under duress. Anyone that's in the two-party puppet show has decided to ignore the truth. I'm an independent. So when I vote, like I don't vote automatically for one or the other because I align, like I vote based on policies. I used to vote down ballot for Democrat, but that was before I became aware. That was before I became aware. I became aware maybe about 8 years ago where I became aware. So it's been like a game changer for me. So now I'm kind of independent. So I'm weighing more in on what you talking about. What you talking about, Willis? So it's more so on like what you talking about versus you wearing red or you wearing blue. You crip, you blood, you know. So it's not about that for me. It's about like what are you talking about? What we talking about? What we talking about? So when Trump was running, I was here for the things that he was talking about because what was going on underneath the Biden administration, it was an entire mess, and Kamala was just child. I was like a boxer. Don't get me going talking about that woman. But I couldn't do it. I said, listen, we about to go in prayer. We about to do a seance and pray that Donald Jaquavius Trump got us because I couldn't listen. I couldn't do the Democrats for nothing. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So here we are. Here we are. Here we are. So that's on that. I like to say, go out into the world, show up in a way in which you want others to show up for you. Like attracts like. Um, be the example of how you want people to treat you. Show up in that way. Be nice to people. And here's the thing about life. Today, you can learn something, hear something, and have an opinion and say, this is where my stance is. But tomorrow, you can be enlightened and learn something different, broaden your mind, and have a completely different stance. So that's what you'll see over here. You'll actually literally watch me evolve and change my stance, and I'll be open to talk about it. You'll hear me say, hey, November, this is where my mind was. July, this is where my mind was. You see what I'm saying? That's called growth because I'm talking you through how I got to the place I am today. Because as you become more aware of things, it starts to change your beliefs, right? Because it's like now it's just like, wow, I didn't know that information. But now that I know that information, it's changing my outlook. So I don't think I'm going to speak that way anymore because I'm not liking that. That's what you'll often see me do over here because as I'm learning about these politics and hearing different things, is having me reevaluate how I'm moving, how I feel about things, all of that. I'm not stuck on stupid. And that's the thing. A lot of people will be so stuck on one dying on the cross because it's just like, well, I don't want to look a certain way because I said this. And if I say this now, no, there is nothing wrong with that. If you now have more information than you had before about something or someone, where you look crazy is if you still standing on this belief, this notion based off of old information. You got to evolve as you get new information. It's like dating a guy. I met a guy and you thought he was nice. He treated you nice. He took you on dates. He spent money. And then a month later you learned that he was he was a pedo or something. Do you still stick in? But I already took him around my family and my friends. They're going to wonder where he went. They're going to wonder where he went. So I got to still stay with him because they're going to wonder where he went. So I'm just going to keep this information between us. Who the hell is that serving? You're not getting that over me. You're not getting that over here with me. No, when I get new information, I am going to move accordingly. Oh, snap. Y'all, sis, where Keith at, girl? I had to get rid of him. I learned he was doing this, that, and the third. I don't care. But you got a lot of people to save face They will stay in some foolishness, still continue to speak a certain way because they're afraid of how they will be perceived, that they change their mind. But here's the thing. If you're able to speak to why you shifted, and that makes sense, people are going to be like, oh shit, I get it. Makes sense to me. Good move, good sis. They're going to be like, makes sense to me that you moved around. I'm glad you did. People respect that. People, listen, y'all get lessons over here. Lesson. Don't ever be afraid of moving around. Don't ever be afraid of, the idea of moving around, because you think that, well, if I move around, people are going to think less of. Share them. For people appreciate transparency. And I'm very transparent if you haven't figured it out. I'm very transparent. I share a lot of things over here. So, and it's about, I want to show that it's centered in growth and evolving, and not just staying in one place, or being stuck in one thought process or one ideology, even though you got new information that makes sense for you to shift around and do something different. See, a lot of people are afraid of change and doing something different. I'm not. I've experienced being fearful of that when I didn't want to talk politics. When I didn't want to talk politics on my channel, it was centered around fear from people that look like me that may not be here for the things I have to say. But I had to overcome that, and it was the best decision I could have ever made. It's the best decision I've ever made. So it's centered around just moving around, opening up your mind, being open to the idea that you were wrong about something, or that you got something wrong. How about that? How about being open to the idea, damn, I effed around and found out I was wrong. Damn, it got me. It got me. It's okay. It's okay. It's a part of growth. It's a part of growth. It's just like, wow, being able to own up to stuff. That's accountability. People rock with you. People rock with you when you can show accountability and preach it. Walk it like you talk it. I walk it like I talk it over here. That's what it's about. And you want to be that way in life. And you want people to view you that way. That's what it's about. That's life. So if you want to know the secret to winning, that's what it looks like. Being accountable. People love and respect and appreciate people who are accountable. And that's on that. It's Wednesday. Happy hump day. I appreciate you all. Thank you for the likes we got over. We got 217, 376 of you in the building. And here's the thing. Everybody's not going to always be here for everything you say, everything you do, but that's okay. Long as you feel good about how you moving, how you are showing up in life, that's all that matters. Are you good with how you living? Are you good with that? That's what matters. All else, it don't even matter. Are you good with how you're moving? Because if you don't feel good about it, chances are, likely you ain't on the up and up, and people see it. People see it, so they're responding to you accordingly. So change can be good. Change is inevitable. Change is inevitable. It's good, and that's life. We live and we learn. We listen and we don't judge. I say we live and we learn. We live and we learn. Sheik lives and Sheik learns. So, and I share all that with you. I share my lessons. And each one teach one. How about that? Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day Wednesday. Yeah, just stay tapped in, move around, listen to people, hear what people got to say, because everybody's life experiences aren't the same. So I take that into an account. Everyone, that's why I say don't judge people, like lump people together. Everybody's not the same. We're all unique. So we need to keep that in mind as we're moving about in this world, that everyone's not the same. Everyone's not the same, because you can You can miss having or creating great relationships by thinking that everybody's the same. Uh, yeah, so that's on that. It's been a busy, I'm sure, it seems like it's probably been pretty busy today on the live. Thank you all so much. I don't know, like, share, and subscribe. So today's Wednesday. Likely I may, I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna go live again. So, new thing about me, I don't have a schedule other than Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Typically, when I go live in the morning. All else, I'll usually go live on the weekends as well, but and no set time. Usually, maybe in the morning or something like that. So, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have your notification bell on so you know when I do go live, so you can get the notification bell. And yeah, like, listen, we get into it over here. I hope you enjoyed yourself over here and listening to me just talk my talk. Cause child be talking. I love to talk. That's my thing. Listen, what's your thing? Talking is mine. But on that note, thank you all. And have a wonderful day. I'll catch you all in the next broadcast.